Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Shirley Junita, and today we are going to discuss about English language teaching syllabus using Indonesia secondary education based on syllabus. Syllabus. So the syllabus is an elaboration of competency standards and basic competency into the subject matter of learning, learning activities, and achievement indicators competence-full assessment. Syllabus is a planned learning in a subject or group of subjects, certain standards that include competency standards, competency basic subject matter or learning, activities and strategies learning, indicators, assessment, time allocation, and learning resources, material, and tools. So, syllabus as a foundation, implementation, and development of learning is dynamic because professional teachers must be able to carry out the development of the syllabus, referring to the principles of syllabus development by using the right steps in syllabus development. Parts of an English language teaching syllabus is basic competency, learning materials, learning activities, and time allocation, source of learning, and the last assessment. For basic competency, basic competence, according to Chamsiatin 28, is a number of abilities that must be possessed by students in certain subject. Basic competency are translated from competency standards. So in the 2013 curriculum, basic competency are competency for each subject for each class derived from core competency. Basic competency is the ability to achieve core competency that must be ability obtained by student through learning. Basic competency contain a number of abilities that must be mastered by students in certain subject as a reference for completing competency indicators in a lesson. In each formulation of basic competence, there is an element of thinking ability which is expressed in verb and materials. So, basic competency contain attitudes, knowledge, and skill that are sourced from core competency that must be mastered by students. This competency are developed by taking into account the characteristic of students, initial abilities, and characteristic of a subject. And for indicator are measured characteristic processes that describe the achievement of a basic competence. Indicator are formulated using operational verb that can be measured. For example, identify, count, differentiate, tell, conclude, practice, describe, and demonstrate. Teacher can be developed each basic competency into 2 or more indicators of achievement of learning outcomes according to the breadth and depth of this basic competency. So, indicators are markers of achievement of basic competency, which are marked by measurable changes in behavior that include attitudes, knowledge, and skills. In particular, the indicator works as follows. First, guidelines in developing learning materials. Second, guidelines in designing learning activities. Third, guidelines in developing teaching materials. And the last, guideline in designing and implementing assessment or evaluation of learning outcomes. So, this is for basic competency according to identify social function, text structures, and linguistic elements of spoken and writing interpersonal interaction texts that involve greeting, saying goodbye, thanking, and apologizing, and responding to them according to the context of the user. Learning materials for social function is greet, say goodbye, thank you, apologize, and respond to it to maintain interpersonal relationships with teachers and friends. And text structures first start and then respond, unexpected or expected. And the last language features commonly used phrases, speech, stress, intonation, spelling, punctuation, and handwriting. And learning outcome indicators. According to Moore and Ricardo and Melanie 2017, there are three domains of learning outcomes indicator, namely cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So for cognitive domain, including knowledge, understanding, application, assessment, manufacture, and evaluation. For affective domain is include acceptance, response, and determination of value. And the last for psychomotor domain, including fundamental movement, generic movement, ordinative movement, and the last creative movement. So indicator of learning outcomes according to Strauss, Tetra, and Graham is the cognitive domain. It's focused on how students gain academic knowledge, do learning methods, and information delivery. So the affective domain is related to attitudes, value, beliefs that play an important role in change behavior. And the last psychomotor domains is skills and self-development using performance skill and practice in the development of mastery of skills. The indicator formulation is carried out by the teacher or media developer by referring to the existing SKD formulation. First, analyzing the level of competence in the standard of competence and basic competency SKKD to meet the minimum demands for competency that are used as a national standards. And secondly, analyzing the characteristic of subjects, student, and school. So the teacher must conduct an in-depth study of the characteristic of the reference subject to develop indicators. The development of indicators also requires information on the unique and diverse characteristics of students. Students with unique visual, verbal, or psychokinesthetic characteristics should be accommodated with appropriate assessment so that student competency can be measured proportionally. And the last, analyze needs and potential. Students can get education according to their potential and speed of learning, including the level of potential they have achieved. Indicator must also develop to encourage school quality improvement in the future. Some information on the result of the analysis of school potential is needed that is useful for developing the curriculum during the development of indicators. So, I think that's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.